I'm not. Listen, on the brighter news, because that was a dark topic. On the brighter news, every now and then, I come on here and I tell y'all that, boy, a good verse from a girl that can rap just hits different.
Right.
Like I say that a lot on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I found one again.
Okay.
I want to play it for you guys.
A verse from a female?
Verse from a female just for Women's History Month.
Do we know this female?
She pulled up. Her name is Lady London.
Oh yeah,
We know Lady London.
she's dope.
I'm familiar. I know of Lady London, but I wasn't so familiar with her bar game. But she pulled her phone out. She was like, "Yo, it's Women's History Month, so I'm gonna give y'all a little taste." The last chick I played on here, that was Maggie. Like, I love when the chicks do that. Remember when Beanie came out and was like, "Yo, I'm not a rapper." I was like, "Oh, he killing!" Oh, like all of the girls that I love, they come on and say, "Yo, something light.
Yeah.
I don't really do this." So I'm gonna play this verse, and you guys can tell me what you think. You can feel free to add commentary. I thought she brought up some really amazing points that we can speak on if we like.
Okay.
And here it is.
Yeah, I stand religion, I'm God. I can't forget if I tried. Made inside this image, been taking pictures with pride. I can stand before a lot that I never mentioned I saw. You a fan before I drop, you'll be air conditioned by 4. Look, I don't follow the trend, cause everybody like it now and they probably never follow again. Quit following men, wallowing and bottling in. Then we catch you on the gram on a modeling binge. Look, if you went on vacation, then that's lit. But if you split up the payment, then that's sis. I'm tired of talking. These men is out of respect. They think they getting finessed. If I ever hit with a check, yo, it's just dinner, bro. You're so cynical. I do it for my homegirls, minimal. Zero effort. You have zero leverage. Text me on my phone and I'll see it as zero message. Whoa, Right at 5:30, you won't see another dot. If you like that, splitting in touche. But either I'm gonna get it or you pay. Ain't no back and forth, cause after the course, I'll be putting half of the course in back of the Porsche, then back in the sport. I really need a hustler, baby.
That's all Lady London decided to give us.
She does that a lot.
What?
Familiar?
Yeah.
That?
Short
Yeah.
freestyles here.
Shouts to London.
Yeah, she dope.
She killed that. I will say, though.
She raises some really good questions. Like, if you'll pay for your man to just go out and eat, then what is the big deal about paying for a chick to eat? I always thought that was a pumped up argument.
I totally agree.
It's
I even thought
we don't care.
Even when I was broke, I thought the $200 date thing
It's
was
the dumbest argument
was crazy
in the fucking world.
But let me go from the other side here. Why so much about dating has nothing to do with getting to know each other? In the rules of dating. Dating now has absolutely nothing to do with getting to know each other, which should be the prime.
Rory starts shooting from the 4-point line.
Which should be the prime focus in dating. No, isn't dating getting to know people?
No,
it's following the rules of dating now, right?
no.
What is dating?
Today,
And listen,
What is dating today?
Listen, me not taking
What's
you
the
out
stream?
to dinner is telling you something, so I'm with you with that. But
dating today is learning enough about you to see if I want to fuck you or not.
Damn.
or just fuck you, or maybe something
Yeah.
furder.
Not be with you, like in a
Well, that's what
relationship.
I was trying to save his.
change from that?
I was trying to save his thought.
But no, they don't want to be with you today. They don't. Actually, when they get into the process of learning you to see if they want to be with you, is normally when they stop fucking you.
Go on.
That's the
more
Mountain Dew rack. Y'all don't see it, but
Yeah, I
that's
see it.
that's the rack.
I need more. I need more. Explain that further.
It is my belief that women are the horny toads today.
Okay.
Agreed.
Well, with your age, for sure.
Well, can you say that? I talk to 25-year-olds too.
No, your age being you not being the horny
Oh,
toad.
at 40, yeah,
that
no,
you
no,
were-
I'm not-
once
I'm not
were.
the horny toad,
So
yeah.
yes, most of the
100%.
women will be more horny than you.
Women are horny toads. I talk all the time.
That's a funny phrase.
I talk all the time on this podcast about how they don't really care about your thoughts and feelings toward things. They just want to learn enough about you to see if they like how you move, if they like how you talk, if they like how you give it up, to see if they will give you some pussy, which unfortunately a lot of women feel like is the desirable trait. Because a lot of women are unfamiliar with meeting a man who doesn't find all of the value in your vagina being the desirable trait.
All right.
That's what I'm.
Give yourself an air horn, man.
Yeah. No. I'm on board for sure.
I think it might be the women you date.
Huh?
I think it might
Specifically,
be the women that you date.
I think that's a
But
genre.
I'm not
of
working
woman.
on a short sample size. I'm working on
You've been in the
my
same.
experience.
You've been in the same genre though.
Since I don't think so. Shit.
No, not
I'm
not
a potter
physically.
now. You
No,
bitches
no,
like
no, no, no.
potters.
I'm not saying physically, but mentally.
I wouldn't say so.
I'm not talking about the women you've actually dated.
Oh, okay. Then
I'm,
yes.
I'm
Then
talking
yes.
about
Then
the
yes.
women that
Then
you
yes.
that you have.
Then yes.
Courted.
I have a lot of respect for the women that you've dated, the ones I've known.
I dated some killers. The ones
I'm
I've
talking
ended
about
up
the
with.
ones that you
Fair.
just
It's different. Yeah. You
just talk to-
I landed there.
yeah.
But what
So
about
yeah,
the-
I think that's been in the same genre. To Maul's point, like it's the chicks that you're talking to.
Yeah, that's all.
They're not all like that.
Yeah, but you know what? In listening to Drake, I learned things.
What did you learn?
But he be in the same genre.
What I learned,
Same strip club.
what I learned more.
Word.
is,
Same DM.
you know, I didn't hear any of the Drake leaks because I'm not going to your SoundCloud. But Rory sent me the Drake leaks, and I heard Drake with a whole verse about how his mom is having a hard time out there in the streets.
That was my favorite leak.
And I saw a lot of people saying, "Why don't you shut the fuck up and stop spilling your mom's business in the street?" But what I got from that is, because I have similar talks with my mom, older people don't really know where to meet people
It's got to be
or how
extremely
to meet
difficult
people, and we don't really put ourselves in that.
Or as
in that-
Drake's mom.
for
or as Joe Budden's mom.
That too. Yeah, that
Any
too.
famous person's mom. Like, you know, remember there was a time where like we looked at niggas a little shady for meeting people on the internet, but then that
That's the
became
only
status quo.
place to meet
and
people.
that's how we meet people. But the older people, so that verse said to me, like, then it's not just me having a hard time out here with where to meet someone or the person to meet. Drake mom is going through this too. There are older people that are going through it too. Maybe this is an age appropriate thing.
Well, I think that's a lot of people that I've seen in their latter past 35. It's tough to date. Like, period. You're just kind of, you're already set in your ways. You already have a career. You probably have baggage, whether that be kids. I'm not calling kids baggage, but how people would view you
Kids
going
are
into
baggage.
the. I didn't want to be the one. I didn't want to be the one to say
Kids
it.
are baggage. Let me be the one to say it. It's Joe Budden here. Joseph Anthony Budden Jr. Kids are baggage.
Kids bring baggage with exes. You could be divorced. Just by the time of 35, you probably been through some shit. Every last person.
Yeah.
So it's harder to walk into a new relationship having so much bullshit from the past 15 years. So it's difficult. And then make that to someone that's what, 60 years old?
But I mean, listen, be clear. I mean, in the art of self-awareness and just self-revelation, I am clear that I'm probably too fucked up to really meet somebody. I am clear in that part. I'm not absent-minded of what plagues me.
huh? You really feel that way,
I'm 100% jaded.
huh?
It is a fact.
So in your mind,
I
you see yourself being single for the rest of your life.
No,
Oh.
I don't see it that way. I see myself having to work through the jadedness.
Gotcha.
And
We all have to do that.
that,
I mean, you have more, I'm sure, but
But why? So why you
listen.
kill me for being single if that is the same shit? And I said I'm jaded.
because I don't think that you attempt to work through it.
That's not true.
I said I don't think.
Okay, well I'm telling
And,
you.
and human beings are, by nature, go after to stay with one person, even though I truly think that concept, if you look at it from a logical brain, is kind of insane to not, I'm not talking about polygamy or any of that, or faithfulness, or just being next to someone for that long is an insane idea. Even if you were the same gender and you're straight, you don't have a roommate for the rest of your life because you wouldn't want to be next to somebody that
Yeah.
long. It's a really weird concept to be with someone
And let
for
me
a
not-
long period of time.
And let me not. I don't want to run from what Maul is saying. Maul, a lot of my thoughts about you and what you think come from my idea that you are not facing some of these intrepidations head on. So you have the opinion of somebody that has not faced those things head on, which is where our disagreement always comes. Because I'm always like, yeah, you're absolutely right. If we don't give a fuck and our feelings not invested and we don't care and we just on our own. Like you're always right there. But once we get into having to attempt to compromise, then it's like, all right. Then I'm faced with a POV that's not my own, and I have to formulate some shit considering someone else. I don't feel like me that you've ever been faced with really having to consider someone else, and your thought is always, nah, I'm not doing that.
Which is why I remain single, because I understand that.
Well, I think
it's worse when you know that about yourself, and then you get in a relationship with somebody knowing that.
But how do you work? But how do you work through the jadedness?
I think when the right person comes along, it just happens. It's not even something to work.
That is nothing to work through.
You get over that they're the one thing. Once they're the one, and you know they're the one, and that's great and all. That feeling then subsides to, how do we continue doing this? I'm not saying it fades away, but just as people being next to each other for that long, you have to continue to figure out how we're going to be next to each other, even though we both know you're the one now.
Yeah, but
it's not just fairy tale the moment, like, this is the one, I know it. Like, it takes work.
No, nothing is fairy tales are fiction.
But yeah, especially if you're jaded. Like, it takes work to get over the hump of, all right, you know what, maybe I should just...
Well, the jadedness, I think, to what Joe was saying with the compromise thing, I think a lot of people confuse compromise with settling, because people are so scared to settle, and you're not settling, you're compromising.
Yeah.
If you want to be with this person, you have to make some compromise. Everything is not going to live and die by what your decision and what you want is going to be. And you're not settling because someone is doing something you dislike or you don't want to do something that they want you to do. It's not settling. You're compromising. Yeah, you're in a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
And no one's going to fix your perfect...
And that is what plagues me. Let me add on to Rory, since we're having a therapy session in the middle of a podcast. That is what plagues me. In my relationships, you can't drive.
Oh, then you're gonna be in trouble for a long time.
Well, I mean, that's just what I think with women, period. But
you cannot drive the course.
Maybe that's an edit point.
Cannot. No, it's not. It's honesty.
Yeah,
I'm telling you about a problem that I have had.
Right, no,
y'all can tell me about y'all.
I understand.
Most of the women that I have dealt with base their decision making on some factors that I do not. Mm-hmm. So when I say you can't drive this ship, it's you're not responsible enough to deal with the empire that comes with me. Most men feel like they come with an empire.
Sure.
Oh, well, then that's it.
So if you just waver...
A man's mentality, I can see what you're saying.
Exactly. So
I think some people are going to misunderstand the words you're using, but yeah, when you have a masculine mentality, that's how we think.
Yeah, so if you're just wavering and wielding
but the
your
chicks are
emotion...
gonna kill you for saying men come with empires, because there'll be mad dudes that don't have empires.
I'm just talking about the man's
mad
mentality.
Dudes don't have empires.
No, I'm letting you rock. I'm gonna get my shit off in a minute. I'm letting you rock. I'm listening to what you're saying, though. I'm listening.
Listen, all right, niggas. A lot of niggas don't have empires.
No, we know that.
Yo, you're gonna have a lot of our male listeners go to their chick like, you're not respecting my empire.
Niggas.
It's your two-door Honda and studio apartment.
Hey, if you listening out there,
you sleep on my couch. What empire?
Either you got an empire or you working towards an empire, and sometimes that means sleeping on shorty couch.
Yeah, but you can't get that off.
And every
you gotta sit down and shut up.
Yeah, you just gotta relax and show.
I'm just saying, you can't.
If she paying the bills, waiting for your mixtape to get done, you don't got an empire yet, though.
You can't base your decision making on just how you feel as a woman about how your man moves with women. Like, for me, there are mad important other factors that should factor in building your life with somebody outside of, oh shit, he looked at shorty when he went out that night, and now how does he feel about me? No, the empire can't fall because you want to spend 2 weeks on that.
I know.
Yeah, but do you feel like
you talking to the wrong one right now?
Yeah, but a lot of that too, Joe.
You always feel me. You always feel me.
Nah, but you got. If we have an honest,
agreeing so much with
you. No, you feel me? I feel you too, Joe.
Nah, but if you
feel me a little bit.
But if you being honest, like a lot of men have to take the responsibility of that though, because a lot of times you don't make your woman secure enough to trust you, and that falls on men, and men got to take that responsibility.
Will Smith says that you are responsible for your happiness. I should add to it. I should not be the source of it. I should only be adding to whatever self happiness you already have. This should be a combination of a bunch of wonderful attributes.
Absolutely.
I do not want to bear the responsibility any longer of making you happy.
But you shouldn't also be the cause of unhappiness.
100%.
So,
but that's another that is independent of this
No,
thought. That's a fact.
sure.
But also with
That's a
that
fact.
part, sometimes
But you
that's
have to be
subjective.
Oh, Rory, at that green rack again.
What's subjective?
Unhappiness is a perception, a sole perception of you. And I'm not saying that we can't make our partner unhappy, but a lot of times our behavior is we're not realizing you're subconscious that may make you so unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot solely be responsible for your happiness because I am not you.
Mm-hmm. I think the bigger
I'll
problem
take
is
it a step. Hold up, before you go, I'll take it a step further than what Rory's saying. I agree with what he's saying. Do I want to do that?
Go for it. We have an edit button.
Fuck it, let it rock. Listen, chicks come into relationships with like childhood trauma, like trauma from their household.
Oh, men do
That,
too.
oh yeah, people do.
Men probably have more.
Yeah,
People do.
men do too.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't making the point that was gender specific.
No, I'm just
No,
throwing
we're
that
just
in
men
there.
talking
Why you
from a
getting your
man's
point off?
perspective.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, if your dad is not in the house, how you come up, you're aware of some. Are you aware of some of the traits that you possess because your dad is not there? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, but I think as I've gotten older, I've developed.
I'm not certain that exists for a lot of the women that I have experienced. I don't know if they are as aware as men. Like, as a man, I know what the fuck is going on with me because my dad wasn't there. Like, dad wasn't there, mom's held it down. This is what Joe came out to be as a result.
Well, that took some time, though, no?
Well, yeah. That took years of like therapy and psychologists and life coaches and all types of stuff. How do we get here?
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board.
So y'all don't want to talk about Lil Baby's album. I'm just fucking with y'all. But go ahead. Get your relationship.
No, I want to talk about. Hold up.
Wait, what was the original point that we were making?
I don't remember.
I don't know. We just went off on a tangent.
Oh, I don't know, but yes, I'm do take accountability in my behavior for what makes you unhappy, but you can't assume or even put someone on a pedestal that they are now in control of your happiness.
And
Is really what my point was saying. I'm not saying that gives you a right to be a shithead to your partner.
Your happiness can't be contingent on somebody
I
else.
actually remember what started it was finding relationships. Why is it difficult for people to find relationships, especially in older age?
I think the bottom line is people
in this
don't.
generation.
Because our own bullshit.
No, people don't take enough time to get to know each other. I think if you're gonna be with a woman, like y'all should become really good friends first. Like y'all should spend time hanging out, getting to know each other. Like people want to just jump right into committed relationships because you don't want to see her fucking with nobody else. She don't want to see you fucking with anybody else. And it's like, but it's still things I don't even know about you.
I think it's unrealistic expectations is the cause of most people's trauma in general in life, but specifically in relationships, and especially now in social media where you can see other happy couples that are
And not only
pop
that,
in and
if you're a guy that you know that you have a problem committing, or you can find women that are fun girls that will be like, okay, I like girls too. Let's bring women into the
like. I'm not doing this for long.
Nah, you can't.
I agree. But
It's
where did
real.
this come in?
Like,
I'm glad it got brought in.
No, it's real. I know people in relationships like that, like where it's like, yo, me and my girl have the most fun. Like, it's not even about cheating. Like, we go out and we have fun together. Like, we'll dance with women together.
It's a really
like, shit,
difficult thing to find.
It is, but I'm just saying,
There's
if you
a
know that you're a
shortage of
guy
that out here.
if you
I
know that
said
you're a guy
earlier.
that you be like, yo, listen, I cannot just be with one woman sexually for the rest of my life, then find a woman that understands that, accepts that, and will go
what's
through that
funny?
with you.
On a much simpler, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, or an associate of mine, on a much simpler level, and we were having a conversation about why it's been so difficult for us to get up and catch up with one another, right? And we were like really trying to dive into, like, have a think piece about why we were having a hard time. We had scheduled something a few times, and it panned out, and just nothing ever came of it. And she said, it's pride and ego from you. And I paused and I said, well, I'm a man, so I have pride and ego. But I don't think that's applicable to why we are unable to get up. And then I paused and said, well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm not a double texter. Like, if I text you and I say, this is what works for me, and I don't hear from you, I'm not reaching out again. And then she said, well, then that is ego and pride. And she was absolutely right in that. But not right enough for me to lose my rule of I'm not double texting you.
Why aren't you double texting her though?
Because I won't do it.
Why not?
Out of principle, or because you just are moved on in your day? Like, do you look at the text and say, nah, I'm not going to double text her? Or do you just text and then keep it moving?
I do that. I do that.
Because I do that too.
I do that. And I explain. I say, yo, when I text and I don't get a response, I naturally assume that you are either busy, you can't hit back right now, or for whatever reason, you won't hit back right now. And the second that you can, you will.
Right.
So
that's the point of the text message.
So I wait for that.
Right.
And if that doesn't happen, I'm not hitting your ear or forgot about me. Like, nah, well, when you hit me, you hit me.
Right.
But
What is she? Is she successful?
that's subjective.
What does she do for a living?
That's subjective.
Life?
Dave rappers. I'm joking, by the way.
Oh,
I'm joking.
But I'm saying
Yeah,
she's like a
because
successful
you're not a rapper
working
anymore.
woman.
She's a working woman.
Career.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's your ego.
Yeah, but I just wanted to
Are you
use that
saying
as an
Joe?
example
Are you
to
saying
pinpoint
Joe
something real quick.
is scared of his equal on a success level more?
You're not double texting either, though.
Who?
No, successful chicks are nuts. They're nuts.
As opposed to,
they
to
are
what
nuts.
chick?
The brokies.
I'd rather a successful chick than a broke
I'll
chick.
take a successful nut than a brokey nut.
I didn't ask you your preference because that will be unique to every individual. What I'm saying is, with a successful chick, you run into a different set of issues. And if that's
Joe,
easier for you to deal with as a man, then so be it.
I'm a misogynist. I think
But there
all
are
chicks are
brokey,
nuts.
there are brokey
I'll
chick
take-
issues, and there are successful chick issues.
Oh, this is-
and
this
they
is
are
everywhere.
two totally different sets
Yeah, you're right
of
about that.
issues. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so that's back to challenge with an equal because the brokey chick issues are easily fixed because all it takes is some money. That's an easy fix.
I got a successful chick that's on my line right now. Niggas would kill me to say, yo, why you not? Why you not? Nigga, because I'm afraid.
Afraid of
That
what?
bitch spooks me. The fuck are you talking about?
But what are you afraid of?
Her.
But what about her?
It's control issues.
I don't think that's a fair one.
It's you.
I don't
What's
think
a fair one?
Only because I know who that is. I don't think every successful chick is like that girl. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. I just think she's just a loony.
She's successful.
And a loony, she could be broke and a loony.
And
Anything that would have happened, she would have been a loony.
And I'm the only man on earth that is not beating it. That would not. That like I'm the only guy that says, you know what, sex is not worth it here.
but
That's me still.
I see your point. I just don't think that's a fair one
All
because
right,
she's
I'll take it
a
back.
because
All right, I'll take
loony.
it back.
No, but that's even though
take it back.
because Joe's my nigga, but I can't let him do that because if she wasn't successful and was loony, you would fuck her because you've done it before. So again, that's your ego kicking in. The fact that she's successful and it's that and a third, and you feel like it's a power thing.
I say that's her ego kicking in.
that she's busy
Because
working?
no, please, I don't care about that. You could be busy and working.
So
but the fact that you are successful and you have been pre-exposed to whatever you've been pre-exposed to in your 20, 30 years of being famous, you're just used to things going a certain way. As am I, but you have that extra factor of you're a woman. So I guess, that's a tug of war of ego because, fam, I'm Joe. You such and such, but I'm Joe. And this is going to move how Joe moves. I'm not going to get off of that because you're beautiful or because you're a millionaire, multimillionaire, or because you're super successful. Or because, I'm not getting off of that. A man still has to be a man no matter who he's with.
Absolutely.
I don't think that that's ego with me.
it is.
I don't know how this turned into therapy, Joe.
No, I mean,
This was a good break.
relationships.
Yeah.
This is what happened when we started
And
talking about
maybe
relationships.
it is. But
Look
I
what
mean,
a London freestyle can do.
she smoked that shit. Listen, if you went on vacation, then that's sick. But if you split up the payments, then that's sis. Yo, when chicks talk slick, it sounds better. It does.
No, it does.
Yeah.
That's sis. You paid to go.